Hi, welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today I'm going to tell you all about the health benefits of rosemary. Rosemary is antifungal, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antibacterial against staph, which I think is absolutely incredible. As I'm sure most of you know, rosemary is edible. It has a lot of volatile oils which give it that beautiful scent and very strong flavor, so a little bit goes a long way. I know I use it quite a bit in my cooking, but it's also good in a tincture, as a tea, or even as an infused oil, which you can use alone or make into a salve. And before I tell you all about those different things, let's head on out to the garden and I'll show you what mine is looking like right now.
Here is my rosemary bush. And the way to keep it nice and bushy like this is to harvest it regularly. And you can harvest up to 2/3 of the plant. Make sure you leave some green down at the bottom. My soil's happy. There's a couple mushrooms in there.
Before we move on, let me get a couple of disclaimers and warnings out of the way. First, I am not a doctor and I'm definitely not your doctor, so take everything that I'm going to say to you here today, take it to heart, but also take it to your naturopath or your doctor and continue to do your own research. I make these little herbal informational videos for you just to spark your interest and help you know a little bit more about the herbs you can grow here in the Pacific Northwest and how they can benefit your health. That said, I really do encourage you to continue to do a lot of reading and exploring and researching on your own, experimenting and all of those things. These videos, I keep them so short that there's really not an opportunity to delve into the deeper places with these herbs. So, okay, that's my disclaimer, got that out of the road. Now onto the warning. If you're pregnant, please do not use a highly concentrated form of rosemary. That would include using any essential oils internally, or a tincture, or even a very, very, very strong tea. Of course, you can eat as much rosemary as you want, and it would be safe also to use topically as an infused oil or a salve. And the reason why is those high levels of rosemary can actually cause miscarriage. One of the benefits of rosemary is that it can stimulate menstruation. That is, however, not a benefit if you're pregnant. So keep that in mind. And that is my only warning on rosemary. Let's jump right into what rosemary is good for your body. I think today we're gonna start with the salve. I don't know why, I always start with a tincture, so we're gonna do it backwards today and spice things up, I guess. Okay, rosemary salve starts with an infused oil. To make a rosemary infused oil, you're going to want to have bone dry rosemary. That means it has either been air dried, sun dried, or dehydrated. It might feel dry when it comes out of the garden, but that is considered fresh rosemary. If you put fresh rosemary from your garden into oil, it's going to go rancid and go bad very quickly. And then you'll be sad and I'll be sad and we'll all be sad. So make sure that your rosemary is bone dry. Then you'll take a jar and fill it halfway with your rosemary and fill it almost to the top with an oil of your choice. My personal favorite is avocado oil for herbal infusions. You can use whatever kind of oil you like, whatever you can get your hands on. I recommend that it is food grade and safe for your skin. Please don't use motor oil. You can use olive oil, you can use grapeseed oil, you can use avocado, you can use, a sweet almond oil. Lots of oils out there. I personally would not use the seed oils, but I mean, it's totally up to you. No judgment coming from me. I don't want you to feel hindered because you live in a location or an area where avocado oil is either not available or it's so expensive that you can't afford it. Just get what you can afford, that is as safe for your skin as possible, go ahead and do a little bit of research on that. And experiment if you can, if you have the time and you have the resources, to see which oil you prefer the best. I find that avocado oil lasts the longest. To me, in my experimenting, it lasts longer than olive oil, and it's lasts longer than grapeseed oil, and it's better than both, in my opinion. That's just my opinion though. So I'm not gonna be mad at you. Do it the way you wanna do it. So starting with the infused oil, once you have the half of the dried herbs and the half of the oil of your choice in a jar, you're gonna want to put it in a dark and warm space. I use a bin with a seed mat on the bottom. I will link up a video on how to do that. Sits in there for 6 weeks, and then you strain it, and that oil will last for up to 2 years. Keep in mind that if you're going to make a salve with your infused oil, that salve that you're going to make, so if you made this oil in June of 2025, then you decide in June of 2026 you're going to make a salve out of that oil, that salve is only going to last 1 more year. From the beginning of the life of the infused oil to the end product, you don't get to start your 2 years over again if you make your product next year. I have been making medicinal salves for years, and I can tell you that those are true facts. So this is like basically what happens before it goes rancid. You know rancidity when you smell it, right? It's like you open it up and the whole house stinks. That's obvious, but you can tell when your infused oil or your medicinal salves are starting to go off when you open the jar and you smell it, and it doesn't smell bright, and it just smells flat and dull and stale. I have been searching for words today, you guys. It starts to smell stale before it smells rancid. So don't try to make something with it when it starts to get that stale smell. If you ended up with a whole bunch left over, just make a smaller batch next time. A rosemary infused oil is good for circulation, and it's really good for nerve pain. I make an amazing nerve pain salve that has gotten me completely off of pharmaceuticals for my neuropathy in my feet. And for that, I praise God. He helped me crack the code on that recipe. If you're interested in buying my nerve pain salve, you cannot buy it on Etsy anymore. You guys, they shut me down. They didn't shut me down because I was doing anything illegal. They shut me down because e-commerce platforms don't like to support herbal products that make claims such as, I healed my neuropathy with this herbal medicine. So because the FDA can't regulate it, and therefore they can't regulate us, we're not allowed to tell people the truth. So anyways, if you want to order that or any of my 100 of other products, my email is down in the description. I will send you my product sheets with pricing, and you can just order directly from me. We'll have my cell phone number on there and everything. You can call me and ask me questions, and we can have a talk. It's just, I thought it was a bad thing at first that Etsy dumped me, but I kind of like just having the intimacy between you and I, and being able to have a conversation and being allowed to just ask me any questions that you have. And moving right along, a rosemary infused oil or salve is also really good for muscle pain, joint pain, headaches, arthritis, gout. It's also so amazing for your skin. You can use it for things like acne, psoriasis, eczema, burns, and just general skin rejuvenation. I think most of us know that rosemary is amazing for our hair. I use it in my hair serum. And I got a lot of hair, you guys. I have super long hair, and I need all the help I can get to keep it healthy and growing nice and long. But I also use it in my face serum. It does have anti-aging properties, and it just makes your skin bright and tight, which is wonderful, especially if you are my age. Last but not least, on the salve, it is excellent for fungus. If you have athlete's foot, ringworm, something like that, use a rosemary infused oil or salve for that. Now let's move on to a rosemary tincture. They're made a little bit differently. You'll still need a jar and you'll still need rosemary, but you'll want to take fresh from the garden. Fill your jar halfway full with the rosemary and all the way to the very tippy top with 100 proof vodka. I will link up a video on how to make a basic tincture, and that recipe will work for the rosemary as well. I don't always link up that video. Some things like barks and resins need a higher proof, like an Everclear type of alcohol. But for the rosemary, you could probably get away with using 80 proof as well, but I prefer to use 100 proof. Once you've got your jar filled half and half with rosemary and vodka, you're going to close it up nice and tight and put it in a cool, dark place for 6 weeks, and then you can strain it and bottle it. As with the infused oil and salve, the tincture is also good for the nerve pain and support and circulation. Along those same lines, rosemary tincture is good for improving your memory, dealing with dementia. I would say better as a preventative. I don't think that a rosemary tincture is going to cure dementia, but it can help improve your memory and work on some of those neurological symptoms. Speaking of neurological symptoms, it's also a great mood enhancer. Rosemary is also good for your cardiovascular system, so if you have heart disease or high blood pressure, you might want to consider adding a rosemary tincture into your medicine cabinet. It's also great as a mouthwash. So if you have a toothache, or you're about to go to the dentist because a filling fell out, or you have an abscess, or a little cavity or something, and you just have a toothache and a little bit of pain, you can dip your cotton swab into a rosemary tincture, and you can just put it right on that painful spot and reduce that pain until you have a chance to get into the dentist. It's good as a mouthwash too for that purpose, or if you just instead of using Listerine, you want something that's herbal, you can do a rinse, mix your rosemary tincture with a little bit of warm water and do a nice little swish with that and spit it out. Upcoming, I am going to do a video for you on herbal mouthwash. It's time for me to make another batch for myself, so I thought I would take you along for the ride. That's basically all I wanted to share with you today, just enough to whet your appetite and get you interested in growing rosemary and turning it into medicine for you and your family. Rosemary is easy to grow in the garden and also easy to grow in pots. You can grow them on your patio. You can even grow it indoors on a sunny windowsill. Don't forget to hop down into the comments and let me know what kind of videos you want me to do next. I have a couple in the queue that I'm interested in sharing with you, like rendering tallow and the herbal mouthwash that I told you about, and of course the monthly garden tours. But I'm interested to hear what kind of things you want to know more about. Is there something I've forgotten that you guys would like to talk about, or that you would like me to teach you? Let me know down in the comments and I will put those on my list and make them for you, because I'm here for you. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go out to the garden. It's berry picking season. I got lots of strawberries and raspberries out there. Blueberries will be next, followed by the blackberries. I will see you guys soon. Bye.